Another day to live through. Better get started.
That's the king of horror as Dr. Robert Morgan, the lone survivor of a plague that has decimated the Earth's entire population in the movie The Last Man on Earth.
December 1965. Is that all it has been since I inherited the world? There was a time when eating was pleasurable. Now it bores me. Just fuel for survival. I'll settle for coffee and orange juice this morning. But first there's my life to consider.
The post-apocalyptic science fiction film was based on the 1954 novel I Am Legend by Richard Matheson. And we can see why the role must have appealed to Mr. Price. His love of food could only have waned after his involvement in a certain doomed educational doc series that was shelved by the XBS Corp due to legal concerns surrounding the deaths suffered during its production. Hello, good listeners, and welcome to Deadliest Meal. I'm author, documentarian, and film historian Denise Didak, and you're listening to a new podcast about the most cursed TV show ever produced. A cooking program that was so blighted, bedeviled, and deadly that the studio behind the project tried to bury it forever. For the past 10 years, I've been documenting what happened to Vincent Price in the summer of 1964. And over the course of this podcast, the world will finally come to know the real story of the Prince of Terror in an effort to save this American cultural treasure from the dustbin of history. When we last left our hapless little band, we found them rudderless in Rome after the tragic ending of their boom operator, Eddie. In Chapter 4, Beau, Geste, we find Mr. Price and company in the deserts of North Africa, where the crew journeys to the haunted and storied Tazzougerte Fort to film the meal of their lives. In one case, literally. The audio, as usual, speaks for itself, but I also wish to let my listeners speak for themselves too. I will now read one of your letters and respond on air. Gertrude I. of Fort Wayne, Indiana says, I think that producer guy, Mr. Rotmanson, is selling artwork looted during World War II to build a fascist army to take over the world, and that he is killing crew members to cover his tracks. Well, Gertrude, I thank you for your thoughts and respect your opinion, but I have spent too much time in academia to accept your pat explanation of a few coincidentals. Take my father, Didi, for example. After his death, I found passports for multiple aliases in a locked drawer in his desk. If I were to accept this at face value, I would have to assume that my father wasn't a boring old contracts attorney for a Hollywood dream factory, as he had always led me to believe, that maybe he was a mob hitman. But of course, not many cleaners graduated magna cum laude from Yale Law, so that's why it's important to always do your research. Which is the long way of saying that I'm afraid your theory just doesn't add up. Now, if you can back up your conjecture with hard facts, I will reconsider the proposition, but in the meantime, I and the podcast community have to guard against these things, or people will just be confused and misled, and that's just irresponsible. Without further ado, we now return to our program where Mr. Price meets actor Omar Sharif before an unexplained death reinforces his belief that the show is cursed. And perhaps it is.
Today I mean to shake up your family's boring old taste buds with a recipe gleaned from the fourth port of call on our culinary odyssey, the edge of imagination, the birthplace of Beau, Geste and 1001 Nights, a place where the flavors of North Africa stimulate your imagination and digestion. Morocco.
Driving.
It's speeding, you imbecile. Think you'd be better at it by now.
You want to hold your own mic? Be my guest.
Also, we don't say speeding after a take. It's supposed to come before the take.
Let's just do this, gentlemen.
Still rolling.
Fine. Located in Fez, Old Medina, just off Souk al-Attarine, this peaceful square is home to one of the city's oldest markets. Welcome to the Souk al-Henab, a bazaar so ancient that no one knows when it was first started or by whom. As you can see, you can buy just about anything here, including the newest wares, technologies, and fashions from around the world. But we are not shopping for the latest stereo surround sound recordings. We are here for food. Today we'll be making chicken tagine, a classic Moroccan recipe that is named after the country's traditional clay kiln, which is more or less the North African equivalent of a Dutch oven.
And cut.
But I haven't even explained what a Medina is.
I think everyone knows what a Medina is. It's rather self-explanatory.
Have you ever been to Oklahoma, Mississippi, or Wyoming?
I take your point. Please elaborate.
A Medina refers to the old part of a town or city. The term is found in many countries of North Africa, including Morocco. Medinas are typically walled and often car-free as there is not enough space in the alleyways for larger vehicles. And you thought the traffic in Boston was bad.
Did you get it all out? Are you happy now?
I didn't cancel the family's summer road trip across the Badlands and the old Clark Cortez to make a slapdash documentary. This production is veering dangerously into amateurism, my dear Mr. Robinson.
I let you do your Medina bit, and now we've got to pack it in and get moving. We don't have time for another of your bouts of verbal diarrhea.
Today you appear to be even in more of a hurry than usual, mon producer. May I ask why?
The answer will always be the same. Time is money, our permits are about to expire, and I can't afford the overtime.
Yes, but there's so much more to see in the city that you are so quick to leave. And there's much more cultural context that I have yet to convey regarding the long history of Morocco, a country that was traded from empire to empire until it was finally returned to its own people at the conclusion of World War II.
This is an obsession with you.
Morocco moved from being a French protectorate to an independent nation as a result of the war. Now the present king has just jailed and disappeared activists for speaking out against the regime. And you know what that reminds me of?
I think I can guess. The fact is, we can't just do what you want to do all the time. Your interests can be a little niche.
I resent that.
Hello, Vincent. So nice to see you.
Did Carl get your call time wrong, Mr. Sharif? We're not filming the demo until this afternoon, I'm afraid.
I was across the street at my tailor's having a new suit taken in when I spotted your production through the window. Allow me to introduce my personal makeup artist, Fatima.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Price. It's an honor.
A makeup artist. We can use one on the shoot. My cheeks are looking a little sallow.
I'm so sorry, my friend, but this one is just for me.
For makeup.
For what else? I'm happily married.
I understand we are going out into the desert.
Tazzougerte Fort, madam. Very far out in the desert, I'm afraid. Are you quite sure you want to accompany us?
No, but with what this is paying, I can't afford not to.
Oh, Fatima, I appreciate your levity, but this is serious business. The desert is an unforgiving place, and so too is Tazzougerte Fort.
If she must come, I will have to see about procuring another camel. And please, before we hit the road, remember to use the restroom. We don't have time for a potty break.
What's the hurry? While we're in town, I simply must take you to my favorite place in the city that happens to be next to my barber, who also happens to be my bookie.
If you insist.
By the way, in case you're interested, Vincent, I have a hot tip on a big horse race.
All right, let's go. And hair producer, you should tell your sound man to stop recording.
Dario, hit the red button.
Have we given up slating the location before every take?
Who even cares anymore?
I'll count myself in then. 3, 2. Alongside food, water is life, as demonstrated here in the Jardin Jansbil. The 7.5 hectares of geometric beauty you are gazing on now was the vision of the 19th century Sultan, Mulan Hassan I. Today, the Jardin Jansbil is the perfect place to while away a weary afternoon hidden from the heat. Here Moroccans of every stripe seek the shade of the garden, much in the same way that a New York ad executive or bus driver might do in Central Park during the dog days of August. But unlike in the Big Apple, you will find no pigeons to feed here, just my good friend Omar Sharif, who is currently charming audiences across the world in Dr. Zhivago.
Hello, Vincent Price, who is currently charming audiences in this show. Say, what is this called anyway?
We don't know, but I hope it will not be by its current title of A Taste of Vincent.
That's awful.
Don't disparage the title.
Can you tell us about this beautiful city, Omar?
The city of Fez began its life as a fortress to protect the oasis, the natural water springs which now feed this garden. There's also the legend that Fez means pickaxe, and that it was named so because its founder, Idris I, used a golden pickaxe to build the city alongside his workers.
So it's not named after the hat?
Quite the opposite, Vincent. The name comes from a crimson berry that grows near here.
I'm still not sure how or why a symbol of the Ottoman Empire came to be a fashion accessory in vogue with the popular American charitable organization. But I suppose that's one mystery solved.
Yes, but we have one more, and that is the mystery of Tazzougerte Fort, a leftover from the French colonial days of Morocco.
I hear it is cursed.
Nothing you're not familiar with, Vincent. But perhaps this is a curse of a different kind. The place has been abandoned ever since the mad French Foreign Legion sergeant forced his troops to hold their positions against the Bedouin hordes until they were down to their last man. The fort was later found to be manned only by the dead.
This sounds like the 1939 American adventure film Beau, Geste, starring Gary Cooper. I was originally up for the title role, but I had to pass because I was already filming Tower of London with Boris Karloff at the time.
There was nothing gallant about this group of rough cutthroats and scoundrels. During the Second World War, there were reports that the base was occupied by Desert Fox Erwin Rommel and used as a staging ground for his tank battalion. So you see, Tazzougerte Fort is a place of danger and death.
And cut. We have to wrap and go, people. There is a sandstorm approaching on the horizon.
Then we should delay.
We cannot delay any longer. Now move.
Producers are never to be trusted, but there's a special mania about this one.
Your producer is very adamant on getting to the fort. And I don't know what kind of production you're running, but very few need a crate of metal detectors.
Especially with the emphasis on speed.
That would slow you down.
Something funny is going on here, and I'm going to find out what it is.
No, Fatima, this is too dangerous. I've lost at least one friend to suspicious circumstances, and I don't want to put you in harm's way.
If he thinks he's going to loot Morocco's treasures from us, then in harm's way is where I want to be.
I can see there's no dissuading you. If this is what he is doing, then I am against him as well.
Your son man still doesn't know how to cut.
Oh, blast it.
Your Fatima may have a schoolgirl crush on me. She's following me around like a little lost puppy dog.
She dreams of becoming a producer one day, so I told her to shadow you. I hope that's okay.
How exciting. I have much to share and little to hide.
My father was a production manager on The 13th Wife, a hilarious comedy about an Egyptian businessman who is undone by his bride after she finds out that he is already married to 12 other women.
With a pedigree like that, I can certainly put you to use.
Speeding.
Rolling.
Action!
I say good food is where you find it, but I am stretching that by reporting to you from the remote desert outpost of Tazzougerte Fort, far from the urban center of Fez, on the very boundaries of imagination.
Very poetic, Vincent.
Thank you, Omar. From someone who comes from such an esteemed culture of poets, and more to the point chefs, that is a compliment. Today, as you can see, our kitchen is a bit more makeshift than that to which we are normally accustomed, but that is no matter. We have the bare essentials.
The chicken tagine dish we are making here gets its name from the oven traditionally used in its preparation. It's a clay structure, round at the top and narrow at the entrance to keep the heat inside.
But you at home don't have to make an entirely different kind of oven. What you have in the kitchen will work just fine. To begin, Take a whole chicken apart into 8 pieces, season with salt, pepper, and paprika, and drizzle with olive oil. As we let that rub settle in, I know that our viewers at home are dying to know what it's like to work with director David Lean. Omar, of course, famously played the part of Sharif Ali in Lean's desert epic, Lawrence of Arabia, which 2 years ago took home 7 Academy Awards, including Best Picture and Best Director.
Working with David is no picnic. The man is relentless. I got the role after Dilip Kumar, Horst Buchholz, and Maurice Ronet turned it down. Well, only Dulip said no. Horst was already booked on West Side Story, so he had to pass. Maurice Rene could not use the contact lenses necessary to alter the color of his eyes. Following that fiasco, David demanded that his casting directors bring him Arab actors to give the film an air of authenticity. 24 hours later, I found myself whisked off in a plane to meet the director in the desert. As the plane approached, we could see Lean sitting by himself. Though we landed right next to him, he didn't even say hello. He simply walked around me to see my profile. Finally, he spoke. "That's very good, Omar. Let's go to the makeup tent."
You were born and raised in Alexandria, but Morocco is a home away from home now.
I was here for many months filming Lawrence of Arabia.
But now you call Paris home.
Only in a general sense. Le Hotel is my primary residence at the moment. But for how long, I cannot say. That is up to Paramount Studios. Wherever the next movie is, that is where I will land. And that is why I say I am a nomad, because I have no permanent home. Yes, it's true, I was born in Egypt, but to Lebanese immigrants, I have no mother tongue.
And yet you excel in another universal language, cards, specifically bridge. According to my research, you're going to captain the United Arab Republic's team later this year in the 1964 World Bridge Olympiad in New York City.
Like chess, bridge is a wonderful mental sport. I will teach you, Vincent, and maybe you can become part of my traveling celebrity bridge circuit.
What's happening with the chicken, Vincent?
Ah, yes. As this rests, we will blend chicken broth, honey, and green olives with the brine, and lemon, preserved if you can find it, and regular if not. While you bring the blend to a boil, you braise the chicken and...
Fräulein, hast du viel gesehen? Was machst du denn?
Are you quite finished? We're in the middle of something here.
My apologies. There is an urgent matter that requires my attention. Please continue.
After you're finished braising, put your chicken in the tagine, cover it, and let it simmer for an hour. Serve this with rice, or if you're bored, couscous.
It is better with couscous, but to prepare it properly, you need a lot of time and a calm mind, and I have neither.
Neither do I, because of my producer. Is he going to make me say cut myself?
He wouldn't.
Where's Fritz? Half the crew has disappeared, and Dario's left his boom pole with our cameraman. I'm sorry, Glenn. This is completely unprofessional.
It's not your fault, Mr. Price, but all the same, I'm going to be calling my guild rep. None of this was in my contract.
As you should.
And where is Fatima?
The Tazzougerte Fort is a lonesome place. Inside, one can sense the tragic and unexplained occurrences that befell the residents of the fortress, which served both the Bedouin and the French Foreign Legion. Even today, during our little cooking demo, the unexplainable transpired on our shoot with Mr. Sharif. We found our makeup woman Fatima dead in one of the courts with a broken neck. Our new crew member Fritz said he saw her fall, but when I saw her body, it was far from the walls. In the wake of the disaster, our cameraman Glenn called it quits after consulting with the Cinematographers Guild. Glenn was one of the last true professionals we have on this production, so now I have yet another reason to fear what lies ahead. Carl blamed the mishap on the haunted fort and the curse of the production. I told him to stow it. The only curse we are suffering is his sloppy work as a producer. All the deaths on our sets were his responsibility, and I told him that if things did not change, then I would leave the show. He told me to read my contract. Now it appears I may need a new lawyer, but more than that, I need simply to survive. I was under the impression that Carl was simply a bad producer, but when I got to my room after the fight, a man awaited me with a knife. Having crossed swords with Errol Flynn and Basil Rathbone, I was not overly shaken by this young hood, and sent him out the window from whence he came. But the question remains of why he was here, and I am afraid I know the answer. The police were, of course, unable to find anything, but I was able to find Omar at the rooftop bar. There, Mr. Sharif promised to call in a favor for me with his international contacts at our next location. Omar was close to his makeup woman and said that he would make it his mission to find those who were responsible for her death and bring them to justice. We only have to get to Greece alive to do it, and I am more and more uncertain that will be the outcome.
And so the curse claimed its fourth casualty. This time, the victim was a talented young Egyptian makeup artist with her whole life ahead of her. Her sudden and tragic death at the Tazzougerte Fort had a lasting impact on everyone who knew her. In the years that followed, Mr. Sharif did launch the Omar Sharif Bridge Circus, an international tour to promote the game via exhibition matches. It is not known whether Mr. Price participated in any of the competitions, but the business venture sputtered after a few years and was forced to shut down. I should also note that Mr. Sharif's appearance at the 1964 Bridge Olympian in New York City was marred by controversy over the forced boycott of a game versus Israel due to the last-minute objections of an unnamed Islamic religious figure. After the controversy, Sharif's movie offers started drying up, and those that were greenlit proved almost uniformly to be flops. In my opinion, the beginning of the end started with Omar's appearance on A Taste of Vincent. Concerning Mr. Sharif's promise to put Vincent in touch with the international community to find justice for Fatima, we will look for further clues in the coming episodes. But if I could hazard a guess, I would suggest that Mr. Sharif may have been affiliated with a group of fortune tellers or psychics, or perhaps a religious sect that could deal with the deadly paranormal curses that Mr. Price was coming to believe more and more. As for Mr. Price, his escalating tensions with EP Carl Rotmanson is a sure indication that the actor was feeling the pressure of the curse. But was that all in his head? Was a vengeful spirit dispatched from the fort to claim another victim? Or was the mysterious visitor in his room merely a thug looking for a fat American wallet? To find out, tune in next week for an all-new installment of Deadliest Meal. I'm Denise Didak. Thank you, and good night.
Deadliest Meal was created and written by Rory Owen Delaney and Matt Babb. Directed by Rory Owen Delaney and Matt Babb. Editing by Rory Owen Delaney.
Produced by Rory Owen Delaney and Matt Babb.
Sound design, sound mix, and music by Apostolos Papapostoiou. Bach Toccata and Fugue in D minor performed by Stephen Malinowski.
With performances by Wendy Weiner, Matt Babb, Mike Casantini, Renee Collins, Eliza Garantakis, Craig Jablin, and Rory Owen Delaney.
This podcast is a production of Man Bites Dog Films, LLC.